Welcome. So a bolster, couple blocks, a strap, mat, you've got all the things. That's perfect. Our class today is slow, flow, and yin. So I had two yin poses in mind, ones that I normally do, one to open up through the hips, one to open up through the front of the shoulder today. So that is the plan. Any requests for anything in particular? Bless you. No, nope. All right, we're starting on our stomachs. The head to the top of the mat. You can make a pillow for your head if you'd like. You could turn your head in one direction if you'd like. So I usually end our class with a quote. I'm going to start the class with a quote today, and it's from the great yogi Marcus Aurelius. Just kidding, Zach. um, so the quote, and I actually took some liberties with this quote: waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be one. Today, as we move on our mat, be a good person to yourself. Sometimes we get really tied up in how something is in our mind is supposed to be or supposed to look like in relation to a pose or movement. Be driven today by how it feels in your own body. So be good to yourself. As we prepare to move, we take time to be still. So in this stillness of the body, you'll probably notice the movement of the breath, in particular how it's constricted by belly down. So notice how the breath has to adjust to move through the body, how it flows through the back side of the body, through the side ribs. And now from here, adding any movement that feels good. So maybe it's a little windshield wiper of the legs. Maybe it's pushing up and back to an extended child's pose. Maybe it's doing a little bit of each. Whatever you feel would be great for your body right here, do that. All right, and then let's all meet in a Sphinx pose. So we'll slide the forearms to the floor, elbows underneath the shoulder. And here we're going to let the hands, palms pressed to the mat, draw the forearms back, draw the chest forward. As we pause right here, one thing that I actually am going to talk about today is the position of the tongue. I've been doing some physical therapy for some TMD, and she asked me to do this with you. So let your tongue land just to the tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth, And then let it slide back so that your tongue is in that crevice of the top, the roof of the mouth. It lays in there. So it's in that spot that if you were to make this noise, it's up in there. So that's where we don't want it touching the teeth. We want it kind of laying on the roof of the mouth, but in that kind of dome area in the roof of the mouth. And so we'll just make a note of it here, and then we'll do a little bit more with that later. All right. Let the right sole of the right foot come up the inside part of that left leg. You've got this tree pose shape, and then let's crawl the forearms over to that right side. Turn and look over your right shoulder. Perfect. We'll crawl back to center. And as we have done these last few weeks, you'll slide the left arm underneath your right arm, and you'll roll yourself open to the ceiling. Let that right arm travel all the way over to that other side. It might be hovering in space. That is okay if it feels all right on the front of that shoulder. And that's actually, besides the twist, where I'd like you to try and feel a little opening, the front of the right shoulder. Good. Roll yourself back to your stomach, and let's return to that Sphinx pose. Sliding the sole of the left foot up the inside part of that right leg, and then begin to crawl your forearms over to that left side, looking over your left shoulder. Good. Come back to center. That left arm goes forward, the right arm underneath the left, and then you'll roll yourself open to the ceiling, likely rolling off your mat a little. But you've got this twist. Again, maybe left arm hovering in space. Pause one more breath. And then roll back to your stomach. We push up and back, extended child's pose. From here, let's do a little more lateral movement. So walking the hands over to the left, press a little extra weight into that right hip and create as much length through the right side of the body as you can. Crawl your hands over to that right side, left side of the body, long. Good, come back to center. Come to an all fours position, a tabletop position where you're looking straight down to your mat. The core is strong here. We'll find our bird dog, left leg back, right arm forward. We're adding our cat and cow in here. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, elbow and knee draw in, really round out through the spine. On your inhale, stretch long. Maybe even find an arch in that back. Exhale, elbow and knee draw in. Good, one more like that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow and knee in. Lengthen back out, set the right hand to the floor and step this left foot through the hands to the front of the mat. You may want your blocks here. We're gonna end up doing a half splits. So if you'd like to frame that left foot or frame your mat with your blocks, and then just let yourself come forward here for a second, letting that back leg be at a diagonal to stretch through the front of that right hip. And then we'll set ourselves up a little differently here, sliding that right knee in so that we create these 90-degree shapes. We'll walk ourselves up. Clasp your hands together, bring your palms to the back of the head, and you are pushing your head into your hands into your head, and you're drawing your elbows back. Hands land on your blocks or to the floor. We'll shift our weight back to find our half splits. All right, half splits here, sending that left leg long, the sole of the foot pushing out toward the front of the room. Beautiful, good. Staying center or both hands to the outside of that left leg. Pausing here, one more full breath. Good, we come back to center. We'll begin to walk ourselves forward and we'll come up into a modified warrior 3. So we have our hands to the floor or to the block, right leg is in the air. Know that at any point, we're going to change things up as we move through practice today, so you can always come back to this. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, a Shiva squat. That right knee comes in behind your left knee. Inhale to lengthen both legs long. Exhale, Shiva squat. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, lengthen. Drop the right toes back to the floor for a lunge. Drop your right knee to the mat. The left knee goes back to join it. You're back in your tabletop position. All right, so anything here to do a little reset, reconnect here with this tabletop pose. And then we're sending the right leg straight back behind, your left arm straight out in front. We have 3 rounds of cat and cow here combined with our bird dog. So we draw elbow and knee in, rounding out through the spine. As you inhale and lengthen, find a cow pose. Exhale, elbow and knee. Inhale, lengthen. One more time like that. Elbow and knee draw in. We lengthen long. We set that left hand to the floor, the right foot steps forward. All right, so before we kind of line things up, feel free to really sink into this, allowing that left hip to feel opening. And then we'll find our 90 degree shapes. We'll walk ourselves up, send your arms all the way up. Let's actually do some big circles here with the arms. When you're rolling those arms back or bringing the arms back, notice if you flare out through the ribs. Try to keep everything here tucked in. Let's switch directions of the circles, finding your range of motion here. And then let your hands land down around that right foot. We'll shift our weight back, half splits. Pause center, or both hands to the outside of that right leg. Perfect. Come back to center. Begin to shift your weight forward to find your modified warrior 3. Deep breath in. As you exhale, Shiva squat. Knee in behind knee, both knees bend. As you inhale, both legs lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. So nice, y'all. 1 more, 2 more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. Our last one here, lengthen long. Shiva squat. Now this time we will lengthen and you'll set your left foot in to join your right for a standing forward bend. Let's pause right here. Find any variation of this standing forward bend that you would like to practice. All right, let's slowly begin to roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Come all the way to stand. From the front end of the mat, you all are there. Let's take a deep breath in, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, back bend to open up through the front body. Inhale, lengthen. We dive forward. Inhale, half lift up. Exhale, fold. Step back to your plank pose. In your plank pose, corkscrew your hands into your mat. Eye of the elbow pointed toward the front of the room. Core strong. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower all the way down to your mat. From here, we'll find, so ground your legs to the floor. We're going to find a little mini cobra pose. You'll float your hands. Hands return to the mat. Add a little bit more to that back bend and lower all the way down. We do that 1 more time. So take a deep breath in as you open up here into your cobra. Float your hands. Place your hands back to the mat. Add a little bit more to this back bend and lower all the way down. Actually, we're going to do 1 more just like that. Take a deep breath in as you exhale. Find your cobra, float the hands, hands return, add more to that back bend, pause right here, let those shoulders relax down, open up through that front body, lower all the way down, push up to your plank pose, find your down dog. Feel free to pedal out the feet here, find any movement that feels good, maybe dropping shoelace side of the foot to the mat. Press both heels toward the floor, your chest toward your thighs, press away from your hands. Feel that length through the entire backside of your body. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, look to the front end of the mat. We travel forward. Inhale, half lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, sweep all the way up, stretch up tall. Exhale, back bend. One more round of that. Inhale, lengthen up, dive fully forward as you exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step back to your plank pose. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower down, inhaling up to a back bend of your choice. So we practice Sphinx, Cobra. Now you can choose one of those two or up dog. If you're finding up dog, fire up those glutes. Find that length through the front side of your body. We travel to down dog. Choose your path. So you might want to add in that push up or just roll over the toes to find your down dog. All right, so let's gently drop the knees to the mat. All right, so have your strap close to the front end of the mat. And again, your blocks may already be at the front end of the mat, but you may want them close if they're not there already. All right, so we're gonna move into this main flow for today. Know again that you have that option to find that modified version of a Shiva squat this round. All right, we inhale the right leg up. Adding a little bit of core strengthening here. We're going to draw that the nose into the forehead, rounding out through the spine. You're shifting your weight. You're more in plank than down dog. On your inhale, lengthen back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Now, inhale here. As you exhale, we're going to bring the knee in. We'll step through, grab your strap, and rise up to a warrior one. The strap you're going to place over your shoulder for now. And let's just check in with the base of this pose. So lunging into that right knee as much as you can. Maybe turning that upper body to face the front of the room as much as possible. Core strong here. Let's grab that strap. All right, so we do this one often where we've got that strap, a distance between the hands that we can use to stretch through the front of the shoulders as the arms flow back. We're going to do that a couple of times where we flow down and we flow up and finding that stretch. One more time here, arms come down, and then we flow up and back. We are holding in the stretch. Now, as you hold here, just notice if you are flaring out here through the ribs, try to tuck the ribs in. Good, and then let the arms come back down. We're rolling the shoulders up, around, down, and back. You can either clasp your hands behind you or use that strap if you need a little more distance between the hands. We're pressing the knuckles toward the floor. Now we are opening up through that front body. Deep breath in. As you exhale, fold to the inside part of your right leg. Humble warrior. Beautiful. We flow up and back, push through both feet as you rise up, open up, exhale to fold. Good, we hold here one more full breath. Rise back up, release your strap, and put it off to the side, pivot onto your back toes. All right, be good to yourself. We are looking for a spot that we can focus on, and we are lifting into a warrior three. So when you are ready, meet me there. Your arms can be stretched out in front, core nice and strong, deep breath in. As you exhale, Shiva squat. So everything flows in, we bend knees. Inhale to lengthen, stretch everything long. Exhale, Shiva squat. Two more just like that. Inhale, lengthen. Yes. Exhale, Shiva squat. Good. Be so good to yourself. Again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. We'll do one more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. Good. Now this time we'll lengthen, and you'll drop your fingers or hands to the floor or to your block for a standing splits. So drawing your nose close to that right knee if you can. Maybe your hips square off to the floor. Maybe you open up through the hips so that left leg extends up a little higher. You can choose to stay right here, or you can find a half moon pose, sending that left arm up into the air. I know that right leg may be talking to you a little bit. Hold on one more full breath. Perfect. We return to a lunge. Send this right leg all the way up and back. Roll through that right hip, walk the dog, whatever might feel good. You could also do a three-legged flow here. Plank, back bend, down dog if you would like. And then we'll take a couple of breaths, either in down dog or child's pose to reset. You choose what that looks like. All right, let's meet back in down dog. We'll do the same flow, other side. So when you are ready, inhale your left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to your left elbow. Three-legged dog. Left knee, right elbow. Three-legged dog. We bring the knee back to center, step through, rising up. Grab your strap if you would like. We rise up to our warrior one. So this time in our warrior one, so first find that good base. We're actually just going to open up here through the front of the shoulder. So maybe goalpost arms, maybe you start that clasp right away, but what I'd like you to focus in on here is really knitting the ribs in and letting it be about the shoulders. Good. All right. Let's roll the shoulders up, around, down, and back, either clasping your hands together or using that strap. Press the knuckles toward the floor. Now really find that space through the front body. Deep breath in. As you exhale, hinge, lengthen, and fold into a humble warrior. We flow up and back one more time. And then we fold and hold. Perfect. Flow back up, release your strap, pivot onto your back toes. Take some time here to have that right mindset. You've got this. Be good. We are going to send that right leg up into the air for our warrior 3. Arms extended, core strong. 4 rounds of a Shiva squat. Deep breath. As you exhale, here's number 1. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. Last time here, lengthen long. Shiva squat. Good. We lengthen. We drop our hands to the floor or to our blocks to find our standing splits. Choose to stay right here, or maybe you find half moon. Good. Land back in your lunge. Send this left leg all the way up and back, 3-legged dog. Find whatever movement you need. That could include a 3-legged flow if you'd like. And then gently drop your knees to the mat. All right, so you have a couple of blocks available to you. If you'd like to add a little shoulder stretch here, you could place those blocks in position so that there's space between it for your head, but the elbows land on the blocks. You let your head rest between the blocks. The fingertips can come to the shoulders. You could find a prayer position behind your head or behind your upper back. All right, and then slowly bring yourself up here. You can remove those blocks. You are going to turn yourself on your mat. Your mat stays just as it is. We have one more thing we're going to do before we do our yin poses. So if you'll turn and face that side of the room on your block, or on your mat, you're kind of in the middle of your mat. Yep, beautiful. We'll send the right leg toward the back of the mat. It's straight out from the hip. You'll begin to slide that right hand down the right leg. That left arm comes up and over. This is gate pose. On your inhale, come up so that arms parallel the floor, and then you'll gently set that left hand to the mat, right arm by your ear, modified side plank pose. We flow one more time through this, so we inhale to come up to our parallel arms. You exhale over to that gate pose. Inhale back up. And exhale, the left hand lands, the right arm by your ear. You can choose to stay in this modified version, or you could send that left leg long and find your side plank, not modified version. Your right arm, you're going to send it up toward the ceiling, and then you'll send it back by your ear. We have 2 more like that. Inhale to bring the arm up. Exhale to reach toward the front of the room. And one more time, inhale up. And exhale to reach. Good. We come back up. We drop that left knee to the mat. If it's not there already, the right knee comes up to join it. Good. We do that. We're going to just reset here. We're going to still face this side of the room. You'll send your left leg out to the side. Beautiful. Yep. We find our gate pose first. Left hand travels down that left leg, right arm up and over. Inhale to bring the arms parallel to the mat. Exhale to drop that right hand gently to the mat, left arm by your ear. Inhale to come back up to a gate or modified what is this? No, arms parallel. We find our gate pose. Parallel your arms. Let your right hand gently land to the mat underneath that shoulder, left arm by your ear, right knee stays as it is, or you send that right leg long, finding your side plank. We inhale the arm up to the ceiling. We exhale, reaching toward the back of the room. 2 more just like that. Inhale up and exhale to reach. Good. 1 more like that. Inhale up and exhale to reach. Good. Let that right knee land back to the mat if it's not there already. Left knee comes back to join it. Turn and face the front of the room and press back. Extended child's pose. All right, lay yourself all the way down onto your stomach. We'll start here with our scorpion pose. So I usually have you, or oftentimes have you, send the arm straight out to the side. Done a little bit more pec minor focus recently, so if you'd like to do a modified version of this to focus in on that muscle, maybe a 90-degree angle would work for your body, but please be careful here, making sure it does work. That left hand is going to land underneath the shoulder, and you'll push yourself open to the left long edge of your mat. Your left leg can land behind you with the kickstand. It could be lengthened long. It could hover in space. So you've got a couple things going on here. You've got this twist. You also have the shoulder opening through the front of that right shoulder. You could add a little bit more, bringing that left arm behind your back. So you decide here, but this is our yin pose. Let your head rest to the mat. Good. So we are staying here for another minute. A little minute plus. So try and relax into this as much as you can. And now slowly roll yourself back to your stomach. We'll set ourselves up on that other side. So a 90-degree shape, arms straight out to the side. You could even walk that left hand forward up just a little more toward the front of the room if you'd like. Just play with this a little bit, find what's best on your body, and then roll yourself open to that right long edge of the mat. Left leg can remain hovering in space, or you could set the foot to the floor to support you. About 10 more seconds here. Gently roll yourself back to your stomach. Pushing up here to a down dog or all fours and preparing for pigeon pose on your right side. So we'll inhale the right leg up. Again, it can be from all fours or from down dog. Maybe you bend the knee, maybe you do a couple of circles with that right knee, getting a sense of how that right hip feels right now. And then look to the backside of that right wrist. That is where the knee will go. All right, and you'll fold forward whenever you are ready. Staying long through the spine. If you'd like a block to support your forehead, just to keep that spine long, feel free to add that. Or you could do a little Thai massage, bringing the thumbs into pressure points along the eye socket. All right, we have a little more than 2 minutes to hold here, so settle in. Maybe return to that placement of the tongue, just noticing what's happening through the jaw. Take 2 more relaxing breaths here. Now you're welcome to stay folded for a couple more breaths, or you could walk yourself up, bending that back knee, reaching around for that back foot as an option, completely optional. All right, we'll make our way back to either down dog or all fours. Find anything here that you would like to do to reset. Maybe walking the dog, maybe rolling through that right hip again, noticing the difference. The left leg extends, maybe bending the knee, maybe drawing those circles with that left knee, again, getting a sense of how this hip feels starting off. When you're ready, make your way to pigeon pose left side. So we have a little more than 2 minutes that we'll hold here. Again, settling in, relaxing through the muscles of the face, the jaw. Shoulders relaxed, hands relaxed. Two more relaxing breaths here. Feel free to stay right here, or if you would like to walk up, bending that back knee, reaching around for the back foot, feel free to do that. Perfect, and then let's release. Sit down onto your left hip, swing your legs around to the front of your mat. Shake out whatever you might need to shake out here, and then make your way onto your back. You may want to grab a block on your way. We are going to take just a few seconds here in a supported bridge pose or unsupported bridge pose or any other inversion that you would like to practice. Take two more breaths in your inversion. And then gently come out of your inversion, hugging your knees into your chest. Gently drop both knees over to that left side, letting the arms go wide for one last twist here. Knees up and over to that right side, adjusting in any way that you need to on the way. Bring your knees back into center. We are going to set ourselves up for a final relaxation just for a couple of minutes. So if there's any props that you'd like to add in, feel free to do that. but setting yourself up and knowing that you only have a couple of minutes. So please don't give this time away. Set yourself up in a way that feels exactly right for you. Let yourself feel completely weightless, like you're floating on the water. Let your soothing breaths travel in, travel out. Let your next 2 breaths be the biggest, most relaxing breaths of class. And then bring some gentle movement back to your body. Feel free to stay on your back, or you could roll to your favorite side and rest. Taking this time to acknowledge yourself, for taking the time to be on your mat, for being good to yourself. Make your way to your seated position. Let's take one more big deep breath in together, sweeping your arms all the way up on your inhale, exhaling your hands to your heart. Thanks so much for joining me today, friends. Namaste.